Fresh off of 4 streams last night, we are here. Well, for me, Ryan was just sleeping, being lazy, not making videos, not doing. He doesn't do anything when he's not on Geeks and Gamers, guys. If Ryan's not making Geeks and Gamers videos, he's literally doing nothing. He's never ever on the internet. He doesn't make videos anywhere else. It's only G and G.
It's actually true. I did nothing yesterday. I took like a fucking listen. I just needed to fucking not do a single thing. I slept basically the entire day, and then I didn't eat anything all fucking day until like I don't know, like 9 or 9:30, and then I drank like a decent amount of alcohol and ate an entire pizza, and then laid back down. This is what I did yesterday.
Oh man,
But it was good though. Good. I
Oh
feel
man.
refreshed. I feel energized. I feel ready to go. So yeah, it's good.
I was kind of joking. I figured Ryan made like 7 videos.
No,
I streamed so much yesterday, I had no idea.
no, I had like a couple people be like, are you okay? Because I didn't make any videos.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some people that thought I was dead. But no, here I am.
Rumble stream is up. We made it a
What's
little
up?
late, but it's up. Ryan put the wrong thumbnail up. I don't know
Yeah.
if that updated, but he
It,
put
it has. It's good. It's good. It's
All
there.
right. Yeah. So, yeah, man, yesterday was a long day. Yesterday was a long day, but I was very happy. I was very happy the fact that I was able to run Cobra Cast last night and Jay didn't completely destroy main event last night. Which shocking, it's kind of shocking that he didn't mess it up that bad, but yeah, so both went off really well. So yeah, it was a fun night, and we had a lot of good stuff. So shout out to all of you for tuning in wherever you tuned in. And Ryan, you made a really cool appearance. I saw you brought Pharaoh Ryan over to Star Wars Theories channel. I'm sure his audience really loved that.
Yeah, somebody made some comment that was like, "Pharaoh, let my women go," or something, like regarding all the bullshit female Star Wars fans thing. So I was like, listen, I've got the perfect hat for that super chat. And I grabbed the old Pharaoh hat and wore it for about 2 hours over there on the stream. I think that audience was very receptive to it.
I love it, dude. I love when you're on his channel because I've told you this before. I can't remember if I said this on stream or not, but I'll be looking at the chat and like there's like Mahler, like I know Mahler has his haters too. Mahler has his haters, you know what I mean? But but he's got like a certain way he delivers, his points, really eloquent, and then of course Theory's kind of built this kind of like really kind of like, hey, we're frustrated with Star Wars, but we're positive for the future. Yeah, and then Ryan just comes in there and he's so direct and brutal. And you could just hear like there's certain people in Theory's audience who are like, oh my God, who is this man? He's so angry. It scares them,
like, What? This guy doesn't like TCW? This guy doesn't like, who doesn't like Dave Filoni? It's like, oh my God.
Oh, it's fantastic, man. I love it so damn much. So yeah, but it's good. It's good stuff. Seeing Ron over there and seeing the audience get really, really aggravated. But we got things to talk about today. Beardo. Oh, go ahead.
They voted to have me there. So more people than I thought. So that was good. Apparently they don't all hate me. There's a lot of lurkers maybe who don't want to admit that they're, big Ryan supporters in the chat.
Yeah, well, that's one thing. Like the lurkers, and sometimes that's you find that out when like you do a poll in the chat. So because sometimes the poll a lot of times the poll goes the way that I think it'll go, but then other times, I'm like, wow, I didn't really get the sense that it would go that direction. So yeah, it's shout out to the lurkers, and anybody else, whether you're in the chat commenting, whether you're super chatting, whether you hate us, whether you love us, it doesn't matter as long as you're here. That's all we care about. Beardo's Eyes says, man, I'm tired staring at all these holes all day. I don't really know what happened before I got to main event, and I'm not sure I want to know. So I'll just leave it there. Okay. I'll just leave it there. And then Beardo's Eyes says, all I see is brown. Yeah, something like that. Thunderstrike says, since my dog is black, can he say the part of the American Society of Magical Negroes? I'm gonna have to, that's a judgment call with Ryan Kennel, my black friend. So I'm gonna let Ryan go ahead and call that one. Ryan,
Yeah, you can absolutely. Your dog doesn't have to be black. Your dog can be white as shit. I'll say it too. The American Society of Magical Negroes. The entire point is the point of that title. I saw an interview with either the director or something, but he basically stated that it's all about, white comfort. The movie's all about white comfort and black people having to be uncomfortable around white people. And even just with the title, we're flipping that around by trying to make white people uncomfortable with saying the word the American Society of Magical Negroes. So I'm just going to make sure to do my part to ensure that everyone understands I'm very comfortable saying that word. Titling it that.
He is the head of diversity, inclusion, and representation for Friday Night Tights. So that's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal. Slade Laud says, Ryan, I finally figured out who Jeremy's favorite Harry Potter character is. Cornelius Fudge, because we all know he is a fan of old incompetent leaders, meaning Trump.
Cornelius Fudge.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think Cornelius Fudge is a well, obviously nothing was a Trump allegory in the 90s and 2000s other than like maybe a big business mogul. But yeah, I don't know if I see Cornelius Fudge as I would say he's a little bit closer to Biden than he is to Trump personally.
MAGA baby. Record-breaking turnout, record-breaking votes once again, and the first ever candidate in modern history to win Iowa and New Hampshire. So I'll take my old 77-year-old Donald Trump over Ron DeSanctimonious. But that's a Cobra Cast discussion for another time. Davis Marr says, hey guys, all hail the 199. I need to ask before G&G, what did your coworkers did to piss you off back in the day? My coworkers piss me off all the time. Well, I mean, just much like any industry or anything, literally, it's the people that just don't do shit. And then they complain because they don't get anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter where you could be, like, retail, whether you're at a corporate job, whether you're at, really anywhere. You're going to have people that are just lazy, have no ambition, and they're just there to get by. And I mean, even for me, like when I worked retail those years, like I did take pride in what I did, at least for a while, until I realized that the corporate world is not, built for people that actually care. It's just, you got to use it for what you need, kind of like the bimbo hot chick, you use it for what you need and then throw it away when you're done with it type thing. Don't get too attached to it. And that's how the corporate world was. But Ryan, I would love to know some of your complaints when you were working. Oh man, I'm sure. I mean, you probably didn't have many because you don't complain about a lot of things. You don't let other people, bother you that much. You just you never complain.
So as anyone who's worked with me, like anywhere can attest, I don't have like a ton of patience for people. And like if I have a certain way I think that something should be done, I just expect it to get done that way. I don't really understand why people might not get something done. Like it doesn't really compute in my mind. So sometimes pretty much people's simple existence would bother me if they weren't doing their job. If you're doing your job, I really don't care. You know what I mean? Like I don't care if you fucking annoy me personally or if like I don't like you. If you're doing your job, there's not really gonna be much for me to complain about other than roll my eyes at you like I might roll my eyes at a lot of people. But yeah, not doing your job, that's really all I fucking care about with my coworkers.
Yeah. Ryan, you guys think he's like, oh, he's just like it's on the internet. No, Ryan, like if there's a person like yesterday, it made me think of Ryan. I'm driving down the street in a neighborhood. All right. And there's this SUV, and it's kind of a narrow street. There's an SUV that's coming the opposite way of me, but he stops in the middle of the road to talk to someone on the street. And so I had to wait for him, and it literally was like maybe 10 seconds total. And I was mad as hell. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, Ryan, like this is how Ryan is. Like Ryan's whole like outlook on life is if you cost me 5 seconds of my day, I fucking hope you die. That's how Ryan is. Like that's his mentality. And I thought about that. I was like, how mad would Ryan be right now? This person cost me 10 seconds.
It's true. So it's funny. I was I was driving around the other day, and I don't even know what it was, but and I didn't even know who it was. apparently Steph was like fucking driving her car, and it was like at a shopping center or something. No idea that she was, no idea that was her. And she is like pulling out randomly, like 2 or 3 feet into the way. At the point I had to like swerve out of the way because she pulled out way too fucking far. I just saw a random car, and I immediately went by them, swerved around them, fucking just started screaming at them and shit like that. Apparently that person was Steph. I found that out like a week later. That
I was laughing.
Yeah, there it is.
When I saw it was Ryan. Look, it was an accident, okay? The person that was before Ryan was coming way too fast, and so I had to just stop, or else I would have gotten hit.
No, you see the shit all the time. These fucking like women creep out too far, and then they're in the fucking like middle of the road. Basically, they didn't make a decision one way or the other.
Car. I was dying.
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
It's fantastic. Love it. You love it. Good stuff right there. Yeah, we got Legal Mindset. What's up, Legal Mindset? We've got Frank Gore. What's up, Frank? I need to watch your Palworld video. Legal Mindset. I need to watch your Palworld video because I'm interested to see how that's all going to play out. I did buy Palworld. Have you bought it yet, Ryan? Because you're a Pokemon person.
Everybody's playing it, man. It's
Dude,
crazy.
It is insane how big that game has gotten. So I'm actually I'm considering like really trying to get into it. But ultimately, I definitely want to follow all the stories around it because man, it's crazy right now with how people are modding Pokemon into it. Nintendo's taking things down. Nintendo cannot be happy about Palworld and the success of Palworld. They cannot. Fallback says, Jeremy, who are your favorite Joe figures based solely on aesthetics and file cards? Tunnel Rat, Outback, Lowlight, and Big Fig are mine. Big Fig. Just based like aesthetically, like this is why I was a huge fan of Shockwave. Shockwave, I didn't know a lot about Shockwave, but I always thought because he was so much different because he's basically a SWAT team. But Shockwave and Barbecue, always just from a visual standpoint, I love those guys. Didn't know a lot about them back in the day, but they just looked cool as hell. Shockwave, Barbecue, those are my answers right there.
Shockwave and Barbecue.
Yep. So, all right, what's our first topic of the day, Ryan?
I feel like we got to talk about the Oscars a little bit.
All right.
Because, listen, the Barbie movie was the biggest movie of the year. Between that and Oppenheimer, they went off to the box office. A lot of them were up for a lot of, consideration for awards. And even though, Ryan Gosling got an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor, even though America Ferrera got a nomination for Best Supporting Actress, there's a couple big Oscar snubs that have a lot of people melting down because, of course, it's not enough that this movie is the biggest of the year. It has to win every single award or it's minimizing female empowerment. Take a look at this shit. Greta Gerwig, Margot Robbie, Barbie, Oscar snubs spark sexism outrage. And it's true. There's a lot of people that cannot stand this. Greta Gerwig made a film that is critically acclaimed, culturally impactful, hilarious, unique, visually exceptional, perfectly cast and acted, left people laughing, crying, and thinking, and made $1 billion, but no Best Director nomination.
Oh, God, of course.
Greta Gerwig being snubbed at the Oscars despite Barbie being the only $1 billion movie solely directed by a woman feels very sus to me. After an insane year of saving movies, Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie have been snubbed by the Academy for Best Director and Actress. And this continued in like a bunch of mainstream media headlines. They couldn't possibly believe it. There was even a lot of people that were claiming it was sexist for Margot Robbie to not get nominated for Best Actress when the people that were nominated were all women. So I don't really understand how that works. Now, it's not a given this day and age that everybody nominated in a certain category is actually going to be the gender. So I maybe do a double check there. But yes, people claiming that Margot Robbie not being nominated is due to sexism, while the other people that are nominated are actually females. But the icing on the cake is the fact that Ken does get a nomination. And so there's people like, this is what the movie was saying, that women have such a hard time and men get credit for all these accomplishments. It's like the perfect storm of shit right now.
God, I still haven't seen this movie. I know it's a widely discussed movie. A lot of people have talked about it. I just don't know if I don't know if I'm gonna actually set 2 hours aside to watch this movie that I've never had a bit of interest in. But with that said, yeah, the reaction to it has been fantastic, and seeing how again, when you're dealing with social justice freaks, when you're dealing with activists like that, they will never be satisfied, never be happy. And so, yeah, this is a complete shit show. No matter what you do, unless Barbie wins every single award that it has any business getting, and then it has to win awards that it has no business getting. That's the only way you're gonna please this crowd of freaks right here. I mean, I guess you had this different take on the movie. Like, not that you liked it, but
Yeah, it wasn't a movie that was like made for me. But I get what its target audience was, and I understand the message that you're putting out there. I think there was some stuff in there, a minimal amount of it about men as well. That wasn't the point of the movie. I didn't think it was this fucking like, oh my god, the worst, most woke fucking movie in the world. I thought it's a movie for girls by girls. You know what I mean? Like it knew its target audience. It pandered to that audience. It marketed to that audience. And so I'm not surprised that it did so well because this is actually what women will go out to the theater to support, right? Not Captain Marvel. Like it's a girl's brand that's talking about female shit that's made for women, not trying to change predominantly male properties into something for women by giving you women that are just fucking masculine and they're tough and they're better than all the dudes. You know what I mean? So I understand why Barbie did so well, and I didn't like it. I think there's some funny shit, especially in the first half of it, and I think Ryan Gosling's hilarious in it, but I don't have some massive problem like a lot of other people do with it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever watch the movie or not, but yes. So, but if you look at so Oppenheimer got nominated too, right?
Yeah,
Do you think Oppenheimer's gonna win? Is that the odds-on favorite? Is Oppenheimer the odds-on favorite? Because could you imagine if it doesn't win? If Barbie doesn't win? I
well,
don't think Oppenheimer wins. I
but
just don't.
Barbie shouldn't win Best Picture. It just shouldn't.
Oh, it
Right?
shouldn't.
And
Yeah.
that's what we can look at this thing.
Should it even have been nominated though is the question based on
I don't particularly I haven't seen all the movies that are on the list, I'll be honest. But like for me, the fact that like a comedy fantasy thing like that is even in the nominations is wild.
yes.
You know what I mean? Like the fact that it's in the best picture nomination is wild. We've seen time and time again, box office does not matter, right? Box office does not matter for these awards. So the fact that it's the top grossing one, I don't think that should put it in some kind of consideration. I don't think that, Avengers Age of Ultron, got a lot of, need to look at that one for best picture because of how well it did at the box office.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll win. I would be stunned if it actually won best picture because I don't even think the people in Hollywood think that it's deserving of that. And if they really were going to vote solely based on the virtue signaling shit, I think they probably would have put Greta Gerwig for best director.
I personally hope it wins just because it will be so fun because I used to care. Like I used to go, man, the fact that Nolan doesn't have an Oscar is, and it is nonsense that he doesn't, but at this point it doesn't matter because the Oscars don't matter. So I kind of I think it would be funny if Barbie won because it would show their lack of it would just continue to expose their lack of credibility.
I think that Oppenheimer will win. Like that's if I were to bet, I would say Oppenheimer will win, based on kind of what we've seen at some of these other award shows and what the general feel is. But I don't think there's a shot that Barbie wins that fucking best picture.
And Godzilla -1 didn't get nominated for anything, did it?
It got nominated for best VFX. It did get nominated for best visual effects. Didn't get nominated for best picture.
Should have been best picture. Like that's the best movie of the year that I've seen anyway. That I've seen. What about Zac Efron? Did he get nominated for Iron Claw?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Not that I saw.
Chat, did he did Zac Efron get nominated, or did that movie come out too late maybe for him to get it? Maybe no, that wouldn't have come out too late, would it?
It should have been available. But yeah, I don't think it got anything.
Most people no, he did. Wow, dude, that's bullshit that he didn't get nominated. Wow. Iron
Well,
Claw
have
got
you
0.
seen
So
have you seen The Holdovers or Maestro or American Fiction or Rustin?
I don't even know what the fuck any of those movies are.
Well, so then how do you know they weren't more deserving than Zac Efron?
Because I don't know what the fuck they are. Nor does anyone else.
Well, Bradley Cooper's in Maestro. Paul Giamatti's in Holdovers. Like I think that Cillian Murphy is going to win for Oppenheimer for Best Picture. That's what I think. Or sorry, for Best Actor.
Obviously, it would be cool if it wins. Like, it just doesn't mean what it used to mean anymore. Nolan should have already won several Best Picture awards over the years. But it help if this is his year. I mean, it'll be cool. I'll be happy as a fan of Nolan to see him actually get the recognition he's deserved for a while. But it just doesn't have the same feel that it used to have. Because they're compromised by their identity politics and their virtue signaling bullshit. So
hey, I'll be rooting for Ryan Gosling. I really want him to win Best Supporting Actor. I want to see him go home with the only hardware for Barbie. That would be the best thing. For Ryan Gosling, for Ken to walk away with the only fucking award in that entire movie, that would cause like a massive meltdown.
See, okay, I'm okay with either scenario. I'm okay if Barbie wins Best Picture because of the shit show, but I'm also okay if it wins nothing except I would actually rather Ryan Gosling win the only award for the movie. That would be phenomenal, actually. That would be the best thing to come
fucking makeup or costuming or like any of these other like little awards. America Ferrera, she doesn't win it for Best Supporting Actress. And I don't even necessarily agree with that nomination either, to be honest. I don't think there's any chance that Ryan Gosling's Ken beats out Robert Downey Jr. for Best Supporting Actor, but I'm just saying, in my perfect world, that would be funny. That would cause insane levels of cope. It would be awesome.
I'd be okay with that. Slade Lawton. Okay, Slade he's confirming. I was referring to Biden, Jeremy. LOL. I didn't know. It sounded like, because I mean, you never know. You never know. I mean, I'm used to people getting mad because I support Trump. So, but my bad, Slade. My bad, brother. So, good on you. Yeah, I had no idea. All right, let's look at it. I don't have the sheet pulled up.
Did you see the Netflix stuff that they announced yesterday?
WWE?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they could bring Raw to Netflix, so like a $5 billion deal.
Yes.
They also added like 13 million new subscribers or something. Their stock jumped 15% basically overnight.
Netflix is killing it, man. Like
they have won the streaming war.
Netflix is unstoppable. So it's just unstoppable. The WWE announcement was extremely shocking to me, and I don't know how to feel about it. Like, I've just recently kind of got back into wrestling, although I don't watch Raw live because I can't. I don't have time. Like, I have to watch it after the fact, and I'm usually a few days behind. So that's why I'm really not even making stuff on my Cobra 199 channel about wrestling, because I'm usually several days behind. I will be covering the Royal Rumble this Saturday, which I'm looking forward to. But yeah, man, I feel like Netflix is just the future, man. Of everything, of all entertainment. I feel like it's Netflix. They have the best UI. They just make the best decisions. They have the content, and they just continue to level up consistently. So I just don't see any, like, we've seen Disney try to compete with them. Amazon is probably their biggest competitor, right? Is Amazon Prime their biggest competitor?
I probably, but it's also tough to tell because Amazon Prime has been a little sketchy about how many people actually use the video service versus actually have it. Because if you're just a Prime customer to get fucking shit shipped to your door for free, you also inherently do use Prime Video. You know what I mean? Like, you're a subscriber. So I don't no, I think that all is changing with like the new announcement they made. You got to pay like a couple extra, whatever. But anyway, I don't know who the second biggest one would be. Disney combined with Hulu, I would have to imagine. If you combine those two, that's massive.
Man,
yeah.
Disney Plus
for Netflix, though, to me, it's because, one, they had a really great base to start. They've been doing this forever, but of course, they're doing their original content. They're, putting out their stuff, their hits that are original content, but they've been focused more on anything else than licensing shit. which is how they started, how streaming got big to begin with. It wasn't them doing original shit on streaming. It was bringing things that people wanted to see and putting them on their service. Now, of course, that's kind of what this WWE deal is. This will be live instead of, something that's a TV series or whatever. But they've continued to play that game while everyone else in Hollywood went all in on original content for their own streamers. And of course, there's shit on Netflix. Netflix makes a bunch of shit. They fucking have, gone through layoffs as well as, they were going through this streaming race with a lot of people. But I think they're coming out of it bigger than they really ever were before.
Yeah. Yeah, if the WWE deal's wild, starts in 2025. Raw is going to be on, and Raw is going to be on there. And then outside of the US, you're going to get all the other rest. You're going to get like SmackDown and all the other stuff. So again, man, the universe of entertainment is continuing to shift and change. I don't know how DirecTV is still in business right now. Like, they lost the NFL Sunday Ticket, which is the only reason I had DirecTV. You know what I mean? Now the NFL Sunday Ticket is through YouTube TV. You've got all this stuff with all this stuff with Disney and Hulu, and now you've got Raw, which has been running for 31 years. 31 years. Now it's moving to Netflix in 2025. I don't know how DirecTV is still in business. I don't know how any cable companies are still in business. I have no idea. I mean, I know there's still a lot of like old people that still watch like cable and all that, but it can't be enough to sustain what they're doing.
Well, I mean, like, if you change from 80 million customers to 60 million customers, it's still a lot of fucking people that are paying you money potentially. I have no idea the number of people that still have cable or that type of service here in the United States domestically, but obviously it's shrinking and continues to shrink. And as it continues to shrink, advertisements will continue to shrink. And that's what the studios are seeing. Is their linear television has been suffering because more people are cutting the cord, which means it's not in front of as many people, which means advertisers aren't willing to pay as much to run commercials, which means they're losing money linearly, all while sinking hundreds of millions of dollars into original content on streaming that's also losing money for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's been the deal with virtually all the studios over the past couple of years.
Yeah. So the WWE thing has got me thrown. Do you think it's a good idea if somebody doesn't watch wrestling to have that move over to Netflix? As someone that doesn't watch wrestling, how does it sound to you?
I don't give a fuck. It sounds like a good idea to me. And then Netflix has a massive fucking subscriber base.
Yeah.
And they think that here's the thing. You know what's been in the Netflix top 10 longer than anything else over the past 3 months?
Fucking answer.
I asked you a question.
Well, what the fuck did you want me to say?
It's the Super Mario Brothers movie. The Super Mario Brothers movie that was not a Netflix thing, that was on Peacock, right? When it first came out.
That made $1 billion. That made $1 billion at the box office. So you already had all those
at the box office.
Yeah.
First came to streaming, I believe, for Peacock. That's Universal's one. And then Netflix bought the rights to have it on their thing and went on there. It's been in the top 10 ever since it got on the fucking platform for the past 8 or 9 weeks. Yeah. So like they get things that people want to see. They mix in their originals, they mix in that shit, but more than anything else, they've always got this base and they're always looking to rent content from everybody else.
Yeah.
And it pays off for them.
Yeah, I mean, and to that point, yeah, I mean, it just shows you that there's so much replay value on that site. And again, for me personally, like as a person that it doesn't have time to watch professional wrestling live when it happens, just having it there on Netflix to just throw on the accessibility of Netflix is what is, again, it's the UI and it's how easy it is to navigate. Whereas I think Amazon Prime is clunky as hell. I don't even remember Disney Plus. I remember last time I went on that site. Apple TV, I remember that one being decent when I watched Tetris. Everybody says HBO. I don't think I have HBO. I think I have HBO.
You mean Max?
Yeah, Max. I don't think I have that one.
I have that one. That's the one I watch almost more than anything else.
So, and YouTube TV actually is pretty fantastic. So I like YouTube TV. But
YouTube TV is just cable, but streaming.
No, I know, but I'm just talking about the UI though, in terms of how it it's like when you go on your phone, that's why the move to YouTube TV for DirecTV or for NFL Sunday Ticket so much better than DirecTV because it's so much easier to go to my phone to that app than to do it through DirecTV and all that. It's so clunky. All right, we got super chats to read, Ryan.
All right, let me read them. Tobias Nexus for 10. Well, two $10 super chats from Tobias. I would ask why our only choices are old men who are more likely to die of natural causes in office than be elected twice. But then I remember the last time we had a younger president, he got unalived. Thank you, Tobias. And then for another 10, most of my coworkers are now older women, typical state staff. But back when I was at the theater, most were high schoolers or college kids. God, I felt old, but with no school, I was more reliable. A good old movie theater job. Is Quarterblack Garrett that he worked at a movie theater for a while, right?
I don't know. Did he?
I feel like he's got stories about working in a movie theater.
Maybe. I mean, Quarterblack Garrett, the guy who asked Vivek about the MCU. It's like, what are you doing? Garrett?
Yeah, I had to like come in and save that one. Like, what? All right, give him a quick thing so he knows what it is. And I was like, let me ask like a legit question that would be like reasonable for him to answer.
The best part is it just shows we don't know what the fuck we're doing. That's actually perfect. Him asking Vivek about the MCU, and then we had to save it. It's the most Friday Night Tights thing ever because we don't know what the fuck we're
doing. And the way he asks, he's like, our audience really wants to know what you think about the MCU. Like he thought that like Vivek was gonna give like this scorched earth fucking decimation. You know?
God, I love how stupid we are. I see Gary in the chat.
Yeah. That went well. But no, that was really cool though. We haven't even, I don't know if we've talked about that yet. Or since that happened.
Talked about it. Well,
I'm sure you talked about it on your streams, but
yeah. Well, I kept saying like, "Hey, that's the guy that was on Friday Night Tights." It's good that we've elevated him up to the Trump campaign now. It kind of shows you when you make an appearance on Friday Night Tights, the next step is the Trump campaign. So we did a good job elevating Vivek. I think it was a good career move for him. So, Gary, good job on that, man. I think you really sent Vivek to some higher places, man. It's a good job. It shows you the influence of Gary, closing in on 1 million subs, pulling, 18,000 live viewers. Guy pops up on your stream for 10 minutes. Next thing you know, he's hanging out with President Trump. Not bad. Not a bad gig. But yeah, it is crazy. It really is. Like, I don't even know if I've really fully thought about it. And again, shout out to Benny Johnson for making that happen. And again, it couldn't have happened on a better place other than Friday Night Tights, which has become kind of the standard for the nerd kind of sphere. And it's just a testament to Gary and what he's built over there. But it's crazy, man. It really is.
Yeah, it was that fucking question. Anyway, moving on. B. Barrett for 2 over on Rumble. Ryan should run for president with Jeremy as VP. Your slogan could be "Fix America's government." How about abolish the government? B. Barrett for another 2. Jeremy's correct about Nikki Haley. She's not a country first politician. Yeah, she got so many people fooled.
It says, dude, it was the only question to ask. No, it's not the question. It was the MCU part. Like, if he would have said like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like that's it's when he said MCU. Vivek had no idea what MCU was. Then Ryan had to come in and say the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, and then he's like, okay.
I was like, the Marvel Cinematic Universe until it got taken over by women. He's like, oh, got it. Demasculization of all entertainment. All right, let me go on this. Chat GPT. Thank you, Vivek. Mark of Reality member for 3 months. Legal Mindset offered to come in and give you guys a 5-minute summary in the chat. Is that of the Pokemon thing? Is that what you're talking about?
Does he want to hop on? He can hop on if he wants. I'll send him a link.
There you go. I don't know if he's still watching or not.
Steph, send him a link. See if he wants to pop on here for a few minutes.
Curtis D, member for 14 months. Hail, Geeks and Gamers, 199 for life. Imagine if Ryan was in charge of America's nuclear weapons. What do you think would happen?
Say that again. Was that a question for
imagine
me?
If Ryan was in charge of America's nuclear weapons.
I would think that the world would be a much safer place, and America would be a lot less diverse.
It'd be a safer place with fewer people. There's also a decent chance that I would call in a strike on any fast food place that, fucked up my order. Whatever happens to the rest of that city, be damned. I'm just saying, there's a decent chance that happens. Blabs the Tower Tard for 2. Drunk 3 PO made me seem smart and non-racist. Thank you. Mark of Reality with the gifted membership. Thank you. Lori J, welcome to the channel. Jim for 5. Jeremy will be picking up a copy of Donkey Kong versus Mario for the Switch coming out February 16th.
Yeah, Krista was telling me about that the other day. I've seen the advertisements for it. I haven't looked too much into seeing specifically what the game is in terms of gameplay, but I'm definitely at least interested to check it out for sure.
Spider Cop, welcome to the 199. GJJ, member for 23 months with the 199. Drunk B PO for 2. I poked out Beardo's eyes. Is this a new fucking account that I don't know about?
I wasn't on for the first hour last night.
Oh, it's this guy.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. There you go.
That makes sense.
Did you hear what Jay called Gary and Ripa? So we were talking about his appearance on because I said yesterday, hey, Jay's gonna be hosting Tuesday night's main event. I'm gonna be on Cobra Cast. I was like, hopefully it's not a disaster. And Jay was like, man, you gave me enough advance notice this week, but last week I didn't know I was doing it till the last second. And you put me on there with Ripa and Gary, 2 juggernauts. I was like, did you use a soft A and not a hard R for juggernauts? Juggernaut?
I thought the funnier part was he called them juggernauts.
Juggernauts.
Was that just you fucking that up?
So no, I think he said nuts too. I think he said juggernauts. Juggernuts. And I'm like, did you use a soft A and not a hard R? And he's like, Juggernuts, that's what it's called. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not called Juggernuts. It's Juggernaut.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Juggernaut is what it's called. But he says Juggernaut. I'm going to stop because I'm going to say something wrong. So I'm just going to stop. I already did that once. Somebody sent Beardo a real interesting super chat with a lot of N words in it. And he said it very fast and didn't screw it up. It's the first time I've ever respected him. I was like, holy shit, I would not have read that fast. I would not have done that at all.
Got to be careful out there.
Yes, absolutely.
Brando the Jedi gifted a membership. Thank you. Shadow Saiyan for $5. Jeremy, why does Beardo always have to remind us the Suicide Squad game exists? Is it because all the Tardo memes?
I don't know. Juggernuts is the new 199. This is Chris Gore.
Ministry of Wrong Thing for 199. Hopefully Ryan's better at pulling out than Steph. Thank you. Pirate Queen, welcome to the 199. Dumb Age gives 5 Geeks and Gamers memberships. Thank you. Shout out to Dom. He's always out there.
Hell yeah.
Sub supporting every single chat. Shout out Dom.
Dom is my jugga. My jugga. What's up, my juggas? That's what we call it. The 199, my juggas. There we go.
I'm good. Derek PG Baylor for 5. How about a Kansas City meetup sometime in the future? Center of the country, deep red steak, greatest barbecue. Let's do it. I mean, I'm down to go there if there's if there's something going on, I'll be there for sure.
Well,
but
as we've said with meetups, it really just comes down to if you know someone in the area that's willing to bring a few hundred people to a bar and they want to sell a lot of alcohol and a lot of food, and there's no charge of us, hey, we can work it out. We can make you a lot of money. We can get a lot of people together. So if there's opportunities out there, definitely hit me or Gary up, and we can kind of see. As far as and I see you, Shadow Dragon. So Megacon, we officially now have almost everything set, but so it's Saturday night at 7 p.m. The location is about less than 10 miles away.
No, it's 10 minutes away. It's 7 minutes, 7 minutes, Google Maps right now.
Yeah. So so it's less than 10 miles away. So what it's still like it's like 6 or 7 miles.
I
It's
mean,
that's less than 10 miles, Ryan. That's what I was
Not-
saying.
yeah, of course, but you're like less than 10 miles could be a fucking lot for people that are thinking about city. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's 7 minutes considering the traffic. Megacon.
Once you get out, it'll be
Yeah.
fine. But
Anyway, so 7 p.m. Saturday night. I'll give you specific details in the next couple days, but I'm still working to see. I don't think you're going to be charged for parking at the venue because it's after 6 p.m., but we're trying to get that confirmed. And as soon as I get that confirmed, I'll tell you guys where it's at. And outside of that, there won't be any charge from us. It's no charge from us. We just want you to, you know, buy food, buy alcohol if you want to. But yeah, place should fit a few hundred. Shadow Dragon.
you got the right idea there. You got the right idea there, Shadow
Yeah.
Dragon.
Yeah. And it's a little more organized than last time in terms of we have a specific area that's there. So I'll give you specifics for sure.
We've got a place. We've got an actual building. We've got something going on. So as soon as we might have to do an RSVP or something for it as well. So we'll get the event right up. But you guys can plan on that Saturday night after Megacon starting at 7 p.m. Yeah, that's when the meetup's going to happen.
Yep. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. Who was that?
Yeah.
Who's that? Bart
Scott.
Bart Scott, yeah.
Lori J, Canadian $6.99. That's okay because everyone at the Oscars had to check a weirdo box for the message to be there. Yeah, probably. Edward Morris, American Fiction Holdovers are actually fantastic movies. You'd love them both, Jeremy.
I mean, maybe. They got nominated for Oscars, though. It means I probably will hate them.
Parker for 2. How much is the 199 hats going to be at the meetup?
Either 25 or 30. I got to look at the cost on it because I'm having them. I've had to express ship them to make sure I get them here in time, and they're the same quality as the G&G hat, which I will have a few G&G hats from last time. I've got a little bit of inventory left over from them, and I'm gonna have T-shirts. I don't think I'm gonna have hoodies this time around, and I've got some other extra stuff. We're going to be giving away some from free stuff as well. So there's going to be. I know Krista and Steph were putting some stuff together. We're going to have free stuff we're giving away. We're going to have 199 hats, Geeks and Gamers hats, and Geeks Gamers shirts for sale. So,
oh yeah, there you go. Lori for $2.79. Would you ever consider coming to Edmonton Con? They invite us.
Yeah. I mean, I'm willing to kind of go wherever, like, as long as there's a good opportunity for us and we can meet some people, that's all I'm worried about. We got a special guest, Ryan.
Oh, yeah? Is it Jay?
It's not Jay.
Okay.
Welcome to Geeks and Gamers Daily. He's been here a few times. It is our boy, Legal Mindset. What's up, man?
How dare you compare me to that Canadian Ryan? That's it.
Jay?
It's over.
Jay's not. Well, I guess he is Canadian Bear.
Yeah. Technically. Now, what's up, guys? Sorry, I stepped out to get some delivery, and I saw the link lingering. But I appreciated the shout out the other day, and you guys were really big in the chat, supporting me the last 2 days. So
hell yeah, man! Oh, of course, man. So let's talk real quick about Palworld. Palworld is a video game that is just recently released. It was not directly by the developers, but just by the fans. There was this advertisement of like, this is Pokemon with guns. That's kind of what a lot of people were saying. That's what, when I was told about it, it was described to me as Pokemon with guns. And so my first thing I thought was, Nintendo ain't gonna let this fly, because Nintendo is notorious for taking anyone down that gets within their copyrights or infringes upon their IP or anything. So Palworld came out last week. It has taken the gaming world by storm. It has blown up. It's available on Game Pass and it's available on Steam. It sold 6 million copies in like the first 3 days. It's the most played game right now by a mile. I think it's hitting numbers that I think it's hitting numbers that no paid game has ever hit in concurrent players right now. And then there was a Pokemon mod that came out that Nintendo did take down. And there's been a lot of rumors as to how is Nintendo going to approach this, because this game has blown up. Now, your points were 100% valid, and I think that's the point. Competition is good. at the end of the day, this will make Pokemon become better. This will make Game
And that's
Freak work
and
a
that's
little
my
harder.
non-legal point. That's just a
Yes.
general point, right? That's a not legal point at all. Is that, hey, competition is good. We want competition, like America. Let's do this, or rather Japan. But well, we kind of force some America on Japan, so you know what I'm trying to say.
This should be a like a wake up for Game Freak. That's like, whoa, these people actually tried. I don't know if we can like get away with putting out the same shit we have been. We actually need to like accelerate this.
And there is a difference between there's a difference between Nintendo DMCA striking YouTubers, because look, you guys know, we all know, every YouTuber knows DMCA strikes are BS, right?
Yes.
The complete BS. People are able to submit bad faith DMCA strikes on YouTube for no reason whatsoever. So Nintendo is no stranger to that, and they do that all the time. In fact, in the article where they were reporting on that mod, because there was the Pokemon mod, the 1-for-1 straight up violating, copyright infringing 100% 1-for-1 Pokemon mod, they sent that guy a DMCA, and in that article there was a video of the footage which was separate, which was already DMCA'd off of YouTube. So they got that video within 16 hours, because the article came out like 17 hours ago. So they got that article right away. Nintendo's on top of that. But DMCAing is different than a lawsuit. A lawsuit is much more intensive and has a lot more at stake than just sending out a DMCA.
Now, what do you think is going to happen here? Do you think Nintendo, and I haven't had a chance to watch your video yet, but do you think Nintendo has a legitimate shot at them if they go after them?
So here was my analysis, because everybody was posting videos that were saying, and I saw a lot of YouTubers doing this, that Nintendo, the Pokemon company, because by the way, the Pokemon company, which controls all branding for Pokemon, it's Nintendo, Game Freak, and Creatures. But in many countries, Nintendo is the only entity that owns the trademark, because Game Freak and Creatures and maybe the Pokemon company don't have corporate setup in other countries. But that aside, Nintendo could sue. That doesn't mean they should sue, and that doesn't mean they will. But the thing that people are forgetting here is, especially even other attorneys and people that were analyzing this is Japanese copyright law. Now, I'm not a Japanese lawyer, but I've actually talked to some Japanese IP lawyers and folks that have followed what goes on in Japan with Japanese IP. It's much more permissive and allows for much broader suits. There's things called moral rights in Japanese copyright. So if somebody violates your moral rights, you can sue somebody in Japan. But also, it's very likely that since these are Japanese companies, since they know that copyright law is broader, there was some sort of handshake deal. Something went down. People went and talked, your people talked to my people, both the Pokemon company and Pocket Pair are both located in Tokyo. They're like 4 metro stops from each other. I guarantee you there was some conversation at some point about this, and there was some decision that was made not to sue, even though they could. I think that there are close enough designs, and beyond that, I think they could say, look, the fact that this doesn't pass the squint test, right? When you look at some of those pals and you look, just squint and you look at them next to the Pokemon, it's really hard to tell. And most cases settle. Most cases don't actually go to trial. So all of this, well, it's not exactly the same. There's these details. Those are trial things. Most companies, and look, the companies I would represent, most companies, fellow corporate lawyers I talk to, they would settle the lawsuit. So my argument is that they could bring them to court and they would probably settle, right? Which is technically a win. A settlement's a win. But I don't think they're going to do it at this point. I don't think they should do it. And I think if Nintendo does do it, I think they'll lose a lot of face. It'll be huge egg on their face. So I don't think at this point they're going to do it because it would look bad. In fact, I'll actually argue this. Now that they've struck the Pokemon mod, they can make a shit ton of money by just having their own officially branded Pokemon mod that people have to pay for. They can just go ahead and
but they won't do that.
But they could though. They
could
so though.
Weird. Nintendo's so weird.
Though.
Nintendo is like this company that just sits on gold mine of money, and they just won't do it. They're so weird. It's mind blowing. Again, as a fan of Nintendo, they just miss so many opportunities. It's mind blowing to me. It really is.
I would like to ask a clarifying question. You talked about difference between Japanese copyright law, blah, blah, blah. I've never really heard of the squint test before. Is that specifically a Japanese IP law?
Specific to Asia. It's specific to Asia. It's actually was brought up by the Slants. I'm joking. Although that's a famous case, actually. There was an Asian band called the Slants, and they were denied a trademark and because it was offensive. And they appealed it all the way up to the Supreme Court. And we're like, why is this offensive? And the Supreme Court agreed with them and said, nope, we're going to allow them to have this name.
All right. So, we have a really respectable audience here. Really, really respectable.
High class.
So, high class, high quality. So we got one legal question for you before you go, because I know you're going to pop on for just a minute. But Dude 357 says, can we sue Jeremy for being gay?
Yes. Mega injunction. Throw him back in Mexico. No razor wire needed. Send it back over the border. 100%.
Oh my God, that's just what our audience does. But no, this Palworld thing has just become very interesting because, like I said, it's the biggest game.
But Jeremy, I heard you say this, and I think Ryan, you said the same thing. When you guys first saw that game, I mean, Pokemon was the first thing you thought of. Like, being honest, like you the first time you saw it, you're like, oh yeah, it's a Pokemon.
It's tough because it was described to me as, watch this. This is Pokemon with guns. And I watched it, and I, as someone who has played Pokemon and likes Pokemon, I was like, well, there's obviously similarities, but it doesn't look like they just doesn't look like those are actually Pokemon in this game. Because that's how it was described to me, as they just took actual Pokemon and gave them guns and shit. I'm like, I don't think you could do that. Then when I looked at it, it's like, okay, clearly I see that it could be derived from that, but it's different. There are differences, and differences enough. You're right. That's what you're going to argue.
It's Arc or Rust. I mean, it's just Arc or Rust with pals, right?
I shared this the other day, and I'm like, that if you're just looking at that picture, that looks like Pokemon. That looks like Pokemon. It just does. You know what I mean? If you don't, and again, I'm not a big Pokemon player myself, but again, and I personally hope nothing happens to Palworld. I hope nothing happens to them. I hope they continue to do this, because at the end of the day, the market determines the market. Okay. The reason that Mario Kart has continued to stand the test of time, and so many imitators and duplicators. So Mario Kart's a fantastic game, and it does, I like a lot of the other kart racers too, but their kart racer genre has been just completely they've been copied, but nothing can derail it. Same with Smash Bros. They had PlayStation Battle Royale All-Stars, which was a complete ripoff of Smash, and nobody cared. They copied the same formula. And I'm not saying from a legal standpoint. I'm just saying it's clear that they were heavily inspired by it, but it didn't hurt them.
Well, inspired by is fine. Inspired by is fine. But let's say there was a document that came out, which, once again, we do not have this. I have not seen this. This doesn't exist. But let's say they're like, copy this Pokemon, right? And there's an email that's hey, here's a picture of the Pokemon, copy the Pokemon. That would be clear infringement, right? And there's some of them that it looked like, hey, this could have been copied. That's something that might have had to go to trial. But, at this point, I think it's already out. It's successful. I think it just doesn't look good. Now, here's my question, and this one actually split the chat. So I'll ask you two guys, because it was equal in my chat, completely equal. Do you think Palworld will genuinely last a year from now or so on? Or do you think it's going to be a fad?
I think it's going to be a fad
after a couple months.
I think it'll be a fad. Because what we've seen this with games will go
to be fair, that's virtually every fucking game. There's so few that out there are sustaining.
Counter-Strike, PUBG,
exactly.
Minecraft.
Those are few and far between, the ones that have this sustained, very long burn over so long. Most games come out, make a big fucking deal, right? Even the most successful games, big fucking deal, big player base, and then it kind of falls off.
Well, but this game is the type of game that if they do continue with the updates and they keep evolving it, this is a perfect game to continue on, to have that long life. But I would say it's so rare for a game to Minecraft is a classic example. Fortnite is another classic example of standing the test of time, even kind of going through the peaks and valleys. Palworld, what was it? BattleBit Remastered, blew up for a few months. I even bought BattleBit Remastered, played it a little bit. I was waiting for controller support to be added, but I don't know what's going on with BattleBit. It doesn't matter because the two developers that made it already made their millions. I don't know how many people are behind Palworld, but it's going to require a constant updating, evolving, and listening to your audience. And that's not an easy thing to do, to kind of listen to your audience and make the right decisions. So
allegedly they have a small team. I mean, now they have money so they can hire more people, but I mean, this seemed like it was like a startup level.
This thing's still early access technically, right?
Yeah.
Like, so certainly we haven't really even seen like what they think they can do with it yet.
Yeah, it's impressive, man. It's impressive. And
I mean, but peaking right now, I'm looking peak today, 2 million users today. That's pretty nuts. That's pretty nuts.
Like that is insane.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So like you've got these massive peaks. If that falls off, and say you've got in the next 6 months down the road, say it falls off and you've got 200,000 people a day on average playing it. It's like, that's still a pretty fucking big user base.
I mean, that's like Rust, right? Rust has got like 100K playing at any given time, right? It's like a decent game. It's still out there. People still play it, right? That's fine. But my thought is, does it go below that, right? Does it really drop off? I mean, going from 2 million people down to, 20,000 or 50,000 or something like that. I mean, that would be the steep drop off. I think if they don't expand, if they don't add to the game, if people don't think it's got replay value, the
thing that's different about Palworld versus anything like Among Us or Fall Guys or some of these other games, like those were really party centric games that really kind of got a big audience because you could get a group of friends together. Like this game does actually require like building and developing and there's an evolution to the characters and the story and everything like that. So
an evolution
from like a Minecraft standpoint, like it has that kind of kind of element to it, and it obviously has the aesthetic that kind of connects you to Pokemon. So, and it's a survival game. It is poor is what it is. So from that perspective, it's got more going for it than a lot of these party games does. So.
And it's quasi based. I mean, did you guys see that comment from the developer about the Type A bodies?
I didn't even see that.
Oh, let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Yeah.
That just kind of had me rolling. Hold on one second.
Palworld isn't even in its final form. Yeah, I mean so again, it really comes down to, are the developers going to keep up with it? Are they going to keep up with it? I think Nintendo should just buy the damn IP from them right now. That's what should happen. Nintendo should just buy the damn IP from them and then roll with it. But they
they could.
They won't.
They could just buy them out. I don't think they would. It'd be kind of admitting admitting something they don't, I think, want to admit. But right here, you have a comment. So I don't know if you guys can read this, but the decision to make it Pokemon with guns was because they were worried the game would not be a global success unless they added guns, because Americans like to shoot things. And then beyond that, this is from the Japanese, right? The gender neutral Type A character creator was likewise because Americans sometimes want to make very ugly characters, right? Let me do that in my Asian accent. Americans sometimes want very ugly character.
Holy shit, man. Holy shit. That's awesome. I mean,
that's
we like it. We like it. I like it.
It's just like random Japanese observation. It's like, sometimes you're women, they look like a man. Like it's just like stuff they say and they just don't find it. Right. And they don't have the ESG filters, right? This is a small company, so they don't have HR. There's no PR department, right, to keep that stuff from coming out. So it's like, oh wow, okay, well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
This is a country, if you're fucking overweight, you'll be like publicly shamed. Like people won't want to associate with you.
Hell yeah.
Well, if you're over 25, you're considered Christmas cake. You know what Christmas cake is? No one wants to eat cake after it's stale.
Christmas cake.
Christmas cake. Yeah, it's a
concept. I have not heard that one before.
For girls, yeah.
Can we use that one? Can we use
you can use it anytime you want.
Can we culturally appropriate that one?
You can 199 stamp all over that, baby.
All right. So I know you were only here for a bit, but tell them where they can find you. And
Legal Mindset, and on your channels at some point, Ryan, I had people bothering me in the chat to do a one-on-one with you at some point, so I gotta hit you up for that.
Let's do it.
But yeah, no, without Jeremy, slumming it with Jeremy too. Come on.
Yeah, man.
But
yeah,
Legal
you get tired
Mindset,
of it.
Legal Mindset's my main channel. My other channel is Go East Gentlemen for those that are getting over here to Asia. It's been actually really crazy for me. I've been helping a lot of people move over here lately. I've got a lot of consultations for Korea, Japan, Thailand, Philippines. Anybody who's interested in moving to Asia can hit me up on that. GoEastGentleman.com is my website as well. But Legal Mindset, I've been doing a lot of good stuff. Talked about Warhammer today, which was really great, and keeping that from going woke. Talking about Pokemon and then talking about Disney. And let me tell you, for all of those that think, and I'm very glad, Jeremy, I'm sure you're in the same camp, that DeSantis is now done playing pretend presidential run and he's back in the state of Florida and he can focus on Florida.
Yes.
I think this Disney stuff is going to heat up now. I think that now that a lot of people thought it was going to get dropped after he ended this presidential bid. In fact, the Disney talking point is that, oh, well, all this Disney stuff is not popular. People love Disney. People don't want to attack Disney. So he's going to drop it. This man is not dropping that. Disney is screwed.
Let's go.
And it's going to be big this year, and I'm going to be all over that. So
hell yeah.
So yeah.
Well, hey, I may. It depends. There's a small little thing going on in this country in November, and depending on how that goes, I might be hitting you up about moving to Japan.
Well, I got it. Hey, look, listen. If things get crazy and you get, the Biden Fourth Reich or something like going on over there, I'm happy to extend lifeboats to everybody out there. Just saying.
All right, man. Hey, it's good having you on, brother. You're welcome anytime. You guys go subscribe to Legal Mindset. We'll drop links in the chat. Thanks, man.
Catch you later, guys.
See you later, man.
All right, have a good one. Good having him on. We need to kind of have me and Ryan's talked about this before, like not doing like a full-on guest for daily, but like maybe having somebody pop in here for like 5 or 10 minutes, talk about a certain topic, kind of like how Pat McAfee does, like brings a guest in, talks to him, bring Gary in for like 10 minutes to bitch about Marvel, and then we can clip that shit out.
I like how you compare it to like how Pat McAfee does things. It's like, you mean like the way that news has been done for like fucking decades?
Fuck them. Pat McAfee's invented news. So,
have you ever thought about doing a show like that? Just bring people on for a little.
Well, again,
segments.
But again, it's Pat McAfee has shown that how it works on YouTube now. Like normally you would never want to copy the news, anything they've done, but copying Pat McAfee, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Fuck the mainstream media.
Corporal Orlov for 2. Saw a report that Chinoy was fired from the Ray film. Yeah, it sounds like it probably originated from a fucking Mike Zero type person. Like that's my guess based on you saying that. But nah. Taker for $5. You guys see America Ferrera said Barbie didn't have inherent value to most people until the movie made it a phenomenon. That Barbie didn't have inherent value to most people until the movie made it a phenomenon. I still don't think it has inherent value to most people, but I don't really know what she means by that. Crash Override for 5. Glad Vivek was on, but it would have been funny if he appeared before he dropped out. Yeah, if we had ended his campaign, that would actually been really funny.
That would have been pretty funny.
Spider Cop 199 had to do a 199 super chat with y'all. Thank you, Spider Cop. Shadow saying for 5. I never would have thought Mahler would be late to his own stream on Star Grift Monday, but it was hilarious. All hail Pharaoh Ryan. Yeah, thank you. He fucking sent me the link, and I show up and he's not there. He wasn't there for fucking forever. So, Ministry of Wrong Thing for 5. Breaking. President Kinnell nukes Zimbabwe again for the 3rd time this week. Hey, what can you do? What can you do?
Do you want me to edit in Palworld into the title?
Sure.
It's good algorithm right now. I'll tell you that much.
Pirate Queen 199. Jeremy, are you watching AEW or TNA or just WWE?
Just WWE right now. I was interested in AEW for a while, but it's honestly with Punk being back in WWE and then the whole Cody Rhodes Punk angle. You got Seth Rollins and Punk. You've got Roman Reigns needs to lose the fucking belt, but they've got a lot of good storylines going on for sure.
Steven Wasik for $20. We're still dealing with EVS stands spamming the chat with lies and chicken emojis. Even people are mutinying and accusations of lying and blocking are still flying. Commenters are calling ice on parody. Fuck up already, you clowns. I'll be real, Steven. Like,
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. There's going to be people in chat, like in the real world, on the internet, that you come across that you don't agree with. Even if you might agree with them on a lot of other things, you don't agree with them on that. So,
yeah, just don't spam. Just don't spam. It's it. You can say what you want, but just don't spam. But if you spam, then or if you see people doing it and you don't like it, just drop 199s or super chats or gifted memberships. I don't care. Like I'll grift off of anything. So,
this isn't some fucking hug box over here. All right.
Yep.
So like, there's going to be difference of opinions, even on people that you really like or really hate or whatever. So.
And just going through, I have unblocked a lot of those accounts, but going through, there's a lot, and there are a lot that I don't want to give access to in terms of like a lot of those sex bot accounts and all that. So you gotta, there's no easy way to unban accounts that have been banned. So I'm going through it slowly but surely. So next time, don't spam the fucking chat if you don't want to be blocked. That's the only rule.
Melodic Method member for 3 months. Jay Juggernaut's live stream win. I don't know. Replicant Patriot gives some membership. Thank you. Tearing the Black for 5. Jeremy, I sent this last night. I super chatted this last night, but that New Hampshire voter who's a Democrat voted for Nikki as a YouTuber, Steve Shives. Barron used to meme him.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not all up in arms about Democrats or independents voting in this open primary. Like that's part of it. It always has been part of it. Like a lot of Republicans did that in open ballot states when Hillary and Barack were vying for the Democratic nomination to make Barack Obama spend more money. Like always been part of in any place where you have open ballots like that where anybody can fucking vote or anybody can switch their shit easily. It is what it is. Elite Neo for 2. Andrew, don't you mean very ugly characters? Probably. Sir Hat for 2. No one buys Christmas cake after the 25th. Ah, that makes sense. Tobias Nexus for 2. Bring me in to annoy Ryan with furry insanity. Sounds great. Drunk DPO for 2. Juggernauts. Thank you. Ronan for 2. Godzilla 1 got me thinking, if a Marvel Phase 1 reboot happens with Hulk as the big bad instead of the anti-hero, would the reboot work?
What was the question?
Godzilla -1 got me thinking. If a Marvel Phase 1 reboot happens with the Hulk as the big bad instead of the anti-hero, would the reboot work? I think there'd be a lot more things that would have to
than just
play
that.
out than just that.
Yes, personally. A lot more.
You know what they should be focused on rebooting is the Sony Spider-Man universe. Because everything we hear about this just continues to fucking go off the rails. Ever since this movie got its first trailer, it's been mocked and ridiculed. And the more we've seen, whether it's the costumes, whether it's interviews, whether it's lines from the movie, it's continued to get worse. We know that it got ratioed to hell when the first trailer came out and had people questioning, is this bad on purpose? Madam Web, is this Spider-Man spin-off trailer deliberately terrible? Dakota Johnson's clairvoyant recites meme-worthy lines in the first look at a film that must be playing one big joke on all of us. Well, after it was revealed that they had to change the timeline up, that they thought it was going to be one Spider-Man, then it wasn't, then they had to do reshoots. Now they're just saying it's a standalone thing. It's not connected to anything else in like a desperate attempt to tell people, hey, still give it a shot, right? Now we have the actress saying this. Dakota Johnson doesn't know if Madam Web will be any good, but she hopes she did okay. Isn't that a fucking glowing endorsement of the movie? Like, usually when we hear this shit, even if these people know that it's kind of a dumpster fire, they're like, we're really proud of what we did, and we hope that the audience is going to enjoy it too. Nah, I don't know if it's going to be any good, but I hope I did okay. Like, this is the type of glowing recommendation that you get from the actress themselves.
This is bad. This is, I mean, again, I have this whole thing. I have literally no interest in this movie at all. The only reason I even know about it's because Ryan talks about it a lot. I don't give a fuck about this movie. That trailer. What was that trailer? What was that song that they used in the trailer?
From me,
Dude, I I really I wanted to end it all after watching that trailer. Like it was so bad. You know what I mean? Like this is, and then we were talking about the actress, and then she made that kind of like jerk off instruction video that, and at that point I was like, okay, I'm a little interested when I saw that video. That made me a little interested. But yeah, man, like the budget for this movie is what again, Ryan?
Probably around 80 million, right around the same as Morbius. And it's by the people that wrote Morbius, by the way. And Madam Web is tracking worse at the box office than Morbius for its opening weekend.
I can't imagine anybody is going to go see this movie. Like, I can't imagine that this movie is going to have any traction whatsoever. This is going to be one of those movies that flies so far under the radar. And the only reason it's going to be talked about is to be mocked and ridiculed for all the money it's going to lose, because there's just no interest in this movie at all. Like none. What did Morbius end up making?
160 million worldwide.
This movie's not going to make 160 million worldwide. I don't think.
And that was with the re-release. Remember when it got memed into a re-release and then bombed again?
Yes. Do you think this movie's going to do as good as much as Morbius? Because I don't.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it'll get there. But I don't think this can help either. Again, this bastardized Sony Spider-Man universe. Listen to this newest report from what's in the movie. Madam Web will reportedly change the iconic "with great power comes great responsibility" quote to "when you take responsibility, you will gain powerful abilities." Which doesn't even really make sense. But yes, I'm excited for the train wreck.
Sounds like something Jay would say.
To me, I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this movie, with all the memes that are going to come out of it. Just the ones that came out of one trailer alone. When you take responsibility, you will gain powerful abilities.
That's so dumb. I don't understand what that means.
It's about taking responsibility, Jeremy, okay? As a woman, women need to take responsibility for things. That's what it's trying to teach you. There's going to be a lot of responsible women who gain powerful abilities in this movie.
It's so dumb. Yeah, this movie, I don't know, man. When does it come out?
February 14th, just in time for Valentine's Day.
Yeesh.
Ironically, the suits look like they could come from a Spirit Halloween, but it is Valentine's Day release.
Ryan's more excited for this movie than he should be. Like you're really into this movie, and I am, dude. I don't know why.
It's gonna be a shit show.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't have any interest in this movie whatsoever. This is gonna be a Ryan Kennel special right here. We'll let Ryan Ryan, he texts me all day about it. He's always sending me links, and he's like, man, I can't wait. He's really excited. And I don't know why, but it's the lie. That is a lie. But yeah, you're the only one talking about it, though. You're the only person talking about Madam
Yellow Flash is talking about it. He he made one thumbnail that was just like Dakota Johnson in underwear or something like the other day. It's like fucking shameless.
Everybody thought he made the thumbnail the other day because they're like AI thumbnails, because I put that Ray picture, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I got the Pikachu that they're like, Yellow Flash is making the thumbnails now. I was like, no, he's not. I've already used the Ray picture before. But yeah, I just think this movie's going to be a complete and total disaster. But what's not a disaster is we have nearly 1,000 people watching us on Rumble right now. Holy shit. And we're not on the front page. I even went to an incognito tab, which I never go to. I've never used incognito tab ever. So just want to point that out. That's never been. But I don't even see us being advertised on Rumble. Barstool.
Barstool just made a big announcement. Dave Portnoy, they're bringing Barstool stuff over to Rumble. That's their preferred home now. So I do think we're going to see an influx of viewers, certainly.
Oh, we are featured. We are featured on the sidebar.
You were a liar then.
No. Well, not like on the main, but like there's a featured tab on the side, on the sidebar, and it's got looks like that Charlie Kirk first, Newsmax, then Russell Brand, then Barstool, then
Are you talking the editor's picks? Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
No. No, it's featured. Let me see. Can I share an incognito tab right here?
Sure.
Let's see. Where's incognito? Entire screen. My screen's gonna crackle probably, but yeah. You see over here on the side though, on the left, the featured.
Okay.
So I've never, it's when you show
I don't
it.
have that.
You don't have that?
No. Maybe it's because you're logged out.
Yeah, that's why I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't have that when I'm logged in.
okay.
So.
But yeah, anyway, pretty cool. So shout out to all of you over on Rumble. 950 people watching. That's awesome. And we do appreciate when you guys are supporting us over on Rumble. And yeah, we love Rumble.
That's right. Tomok for 2 with Palworld killing it with sales. It reminded me that it took Earth Defense Force 5. Hold on. Earth Defense Force 5 around 4 years to hit 1 million in sales. Another low budget game.
I mean, the rise of independent games, and I talk about this a lot, independent media in general, whether it's games, movies, comics, whatever, that's the future. That's the future, and the more we start seeing bullshit coming out of the big corporations and they're taken over by the DEI bullshit and all that, you're just going to see things like Godzilla -1 come out of nowhere. You're going to see things like Sound of Freedom come out of nowhere. You're going to see things, movies, games, BattleBit remastered made by 2 guys, sold millions of copies. You know what I mean? And it's did Call of Duty better than Call of Duty was doing it. So,
Blue Shell, member for 11 months. I don't know if this membership message will be any good, but I hope I did okay. You got Dakota Johnson vibes with that one. Blabs the Tower Tard for 5. Me want Crockett's daughter to yell, "It's webbing time." Then madam all over my face. I like pickles. Yay. Thank you. Commander 62 or Commander 062 for 5. PSA Godzilla -1 minus color in theaters this Friday for 1 week. Got my tickets. Let's go.
Let's go.
Nice. Jay's Secret Racism for 2. Jay is Spider-Man equals fat tarantula. Can he not say that?
I don't know.
I feel like he had a hard time saying tarantula one time.
He said something about like his got crooked back teeth and it makes it that was his
Miami
excuse.
accent.
His excuse was it's crooked back teeth, so he can't say certain words.
I've heard Miami accents. They don't sound like Jay. All right. Taker for 5. To be fair, most of Palworld's concurrent players are just as. I can't wait to see if a new Mario Kart launches this year with a new console.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine Nintendo is going to release a new Mario Kart with their new console whenever they do announce the Switch 2, and they should call it the Switch 2. Absolutely, which means they probably won't. They will probably call it like something retarded, like they did the Wii U. But yeah, they should call it the Switch 2 if they do it. And Mario Kart will more than likely be, if not a launch title, definitely something that comes out in the first year, I would imagine.
What if they just call it the Nintendo Switch Remastered?
Knowing Nintendo, man.
I think that'd be great. Drunk DPO for 2. My teeth are crooked. That's all. Thank you. Sean Kesey for 2. Ryan, I was crying at your John Williams outburst. Yeah, fucking cocksucker's like 92 years old and still fucking copyright strikes every time someone plays half a second of his fucking music on any goddamn stream in the world. So yeah, a little bitter.
He's still a legend.
Love his music, but fuck, why you copyright striking everything, bro? I can't play a Star Wars game or like walk through a little side part of a theme park where they happen to play Jurassic Park without getting fucking immediately hit by John Williams and his like super litigious copyright striking people. It's like he's targeting me. All right. He specifically is targeting me. Anyway, what do we got going on, Jeremy?
It is Wednesday. So I've got Cobra Cast later tonight. We are in full on getting ready for Megacon. So all of that is getting worked through, but I'm excited for Megacon. I'm excited to see all of you at Megacon. And then of course the fan meetup that Saturday night. It's going to be amazing. Cannot wait. There's so many people are going to be here. Over on Discord, Geeks Gamers Discord, we have the Megacon section. And shout out to Shadow Dragon, always staying on top of all of that. But yeah, other than that, just CobraCast tonight. What about you, Ryan? Oh, 199 backpacks. I talked to Suresh. He says that they should be shipping out Monday. So as I said, we said that when we first made them out there, I called Suresh and I was like, can we get these out to people before Megacon? He said it's going to be very close. So I don't think you're going to get them before Megacon. You might, some people might get them. It's an outside chance depending on when you travel, but they are starting to ship Monday is what I'm being told. So we tried to do it. We tried to get that turned around as quickly as we could. Some people might get them, but you're probably going to miss that window, and I apologize for that, but we tried. But yeah, that's it. So what do you got going
on? Nothing, making videos. Corey Bloomberg for 5. Please link in the chat the video of New Hampshire Democrat voting for Haley. Can't find it anywhere.
Go to Benny Johnson's Twitter account, Benny Johnson or ALX, and just scroll down to yesterday. You'll find all the stuff you need on Benny Johnson or ALX. They have everything over there.
Darian Murphy 2, Jon Stewart returning to Daily Show. But like confirmed or something?
That's weird. When is the panel? The panel is Saturday at 1:15 Eastern. 1:15 Eastern is our panel at Megacon.
Yeah, Jon Stewart returns to the Daily Show as host. There you go.
Trying to grift off that 2024. That's what he's
Drunk
do.
BPO for 2. And by the way, it's Tarantula Turd. Thanks. All right. We're all caught up.
All right. So you guys have a great day. Thank you, Cam Man. Other than that, I'll see you for CobraCast tonight. And we'll talk to all of you later. Have a great day. And say hello to Jay somewhere. Because, you know, Jay's always needing a shout out. So subscribe to Drunk 3PO. Bye, everybody.